Therapy Army, last me having ya. Last me having you, Therapy Army. How are we doing? Big up to everybody. Big up to all you, Therapy Army. Hey, what a delightful Monday morning, Monday afternoon, Monday morning, Monday day. I'll say it's simple. I'll say it's simple. How are we doing? Today, I'm going around Manchester like bowling. Just like that. I'm walking like that. And everybody's just like, shh, there's that United fan. Shh, shh, shh. And I'm like, where are all the Born Again City fans? Where are you? Where are you? Last me up. Oh, they're all silent. It's silent. It is so silent in Manchester. City fans escaping. Nobody's answering their phone calls. Everybody's left the WhatsApp group chats. Nobody's on the Facebook groups. Nobody. Instagram. Honestly, I don't know what's happening. I do not know what's happening. What's happening? But big up to every one of you people for the PR. Jam-packed show. Some it's freezing.
Evening.
I can only imagine his -0 in the City of Steel. Where are you?
Yeah, it's pretty cold, but we deal with it up and off. We deal with it.
Listen, guys, please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We got a jam-packed show for you tonight.
Mm-hmm.
The title of the show is, can we get giddy about top 4 certified? Or is it, it's reality check around the corner? Question mark. The other topic, I don't think we're in a title challenge because we're 3 injuries away from being out of the top 4 conversation, I believe. And no mainstream media is mentioning the protest against the Glazers, but they can't wait to tell you about the protest against Bill Kenwright and the Everton protest. So it shows the silence that the Glazers are bought when it comes to mainstream media about this club. I attended the protest. The protest was huge. Over 20,000-30,000 people attending that protest. And full of voice, get the Glazers out. But nobody wants to talk about it. And also to Arsenal fans, I've noticed when you start winning games, nobody's talking about the Cronkies anymore. Very interesting, isn't it? Very interesting. Listen, let's get Saeed in, man. Saeed,
yes,
out here. Really enjoy that podcast. I thought it was a really good podcast. So people, go and check out, I think 212, if I'm not mistaken.
213, I believe it is.
Right. Hey, 13 is your lucky number, people. Your lucky number, not unlucky. 13, your lucky number. Go and check it out. We had a guest, one of Aaron's brethren on there, from Goalcast, yeah? Yeah. So go and check it out. Really healthy debate. We talked about players, what we need. And on today, we're going to be discussing the 2 podcasts overlap, really. I put the title out, Saeed, and I say it to you again. This is what we're going to be discussing today. Can we get giddy about top 4 certified, or is reality check around the corner? That's Premier League football. Nobody knows. No title talk from me. Because 3 injuries and we could be out. We're out of the top 4 for me. If we get 3 crucial injuries, no mention of the protest on mainstream media, but the media is quick to tell you about Everton fans protesting. So it was a huge protest again on Saturday before the game, and it is what it is. But big up to every one of you. Big up Khalis. Big up Ledas. For the Piame, let's be having ya. Like I said, I don't know about Saeed, but I was out on the bike today, like I do, and you know what? The Born Again City fans, when they could see me coming, it was like Omar in The Wire. For them today, honestly, they were all scampering. They're coming. Because I was like, what's going on, City fans? Can we not talk about the game? They're like, I'm busy now. They're all blagging to be on their phone. That's what they were doing. Nobody, like I said, people have Steve. All I can see, the WhatsApp group that I'm in with a lot of City fans, it's been muted. And then when I checked the gate this morning, it's been muted. So, no City fans about. They're all pissed off back to Stockport, where they belong. That's what it is, mate. And the only song that, you know what, I'm on my bike, and the only song I had for them was, "You only come to see United, come to see United. You only come to see United." And if I can't get giddy about the derby, after the humiliation I suffered, I've been waiting for this game. Ask Saeed, ask Tom, ask every United fan I know. I've been waiting for this game. And even if we would have lost 1-0, I would have took that and been proud of the team and clapped them off. But the fact that, like Tom said, we gave them a head start and smashed them still, they got off lightly. Because I'm telling you now, and I say it again, if Martial was fully fit and Rashford was fully fit, they would have got a spanking. A full-on spanking. That's what they would have got.
I don't even think that. I think if the team would have had maybe a week's rest, like they were supposed to, like a week's rest between the cup games from Charlton to the Manchester derby, more preparation, more in-depth analysis that he could have done, it would have suited Man United a lot better. I would have thought anyway.
Tom, I'm gonna have to stay with you. Because no point asking Saeed first, because he's listen, he is the conductor. Let me say, he's the conductor of the Giddy band. You know the Giddy band. Saeed is literally conducting the Giddy army, like literally, like conducting. Listen, and if something, listen. No, if somebody talks about the Giddy train, Saeed is already driving that Giddy train off the place.
Nah, you got it wrong, because I'm actually not saying that we're gonna win the league. Like, I'm not saying it.
You know I'm joking. Come on. Saeed, listen.
I'm excited about it.
Saeed, you've let everybody know that I think Casemiro shit when I just questioned the fee, the age, and the amount of money we're paying him. And all of a sudden, Saeed's dominions are all coming to me. Saeed Army is attacking me on Twitter, going, "You said Casemiro was shit."
All I see is that meme. Eddie Murphy brother's meme. That's all I see from Nordin now. It's like, yeah, just put that meme on and just see it.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. Saeed, listen. Obviously, Charlie Murphy's passed away. Eddie Murphy's team is getting in touch with me, going, "Listen, we're gonna might have to sue you for using our brother's meme too much." I might have to go. I can't go to the USA. They won't let me in.
You need another one.
I'm telling you. But I've been using the clown one as well. You know that famous clown one. You know the psychopathic clown.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. So in the words of what we are, like I said already to everybody, there was 2 Giddy cards. You gave them to me at the beginning of the season. So one you gave to me at the end of last season. The other one I took off you at the beginning of the season. I gave one back to you because we went on 8-9 games on run, whatever. But I'm not giving you back the other one. So you can't be driving the train. You're going to need the other Giddy card to get in that train. But I know that the people are already waiting on the platforms. That's one thing I do know.
Don't worry, man.
Listen, big up Khalees. And I'll go to your comment, Tom. Big up Khalees. Listen, I don't want to hear from Fabrizio Romano, because Fabrizio Romano has had an absolute howler in this window. I'm not going to lie to you. He said that Man United Gakpo deal was done. Liverpool got him the day after. He said that Arsenal Mudryk thing is almost done. And then Chelsea snapped him the day after. So I don't want him to talk about. I saw what we saw with my own eyes. I don't think anybody's leaving Man United yet. But big up Khalees. Tom, answer the question. The question is, can we get Giddy? Can we get Giddy about top 4 being guaranteed? That's the question.
Top 4 being guaranteed. I wouldn't say it's honestly, no. I don't think we should get Giddy. Not about top 4, and even to answer the question about the title race, no, because it's one game that's defined like a bit of a stumbling block that we've managed to get over mentally as a team. Because a couple of years ago, we'd have gone 1-0 down under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in the Manchester derby, and we'd probably bottled it, and he'd probably wanted to hold on just so he didn't get embarrassed 3 or 4-0. And at the end of the day, with Ten Hag, I said what I said, and people, in the chat and everything, Nuruddin can confirm it. People thought I was pissed when I was saying that I want us to go behind a goal against Manchester City. I wanted to just go a goal behind, because I want to see that if this team has really changed, and if they can come from behind against arguably the best team in Europe, for players, squad depth, and manager, and they proved that they can. So that question has been overturned now under this new manager. Is they can come back in the big games. They can fight. They can be aggressive. They can, play at the highest level. Bruno Fernandes wasn't a ghost in this Manchester derby. He was a key influencer in the game. Same thing with other players. Rashford, key influencer in the game. Malacia, key influencer. And all the players were on form in that game. But does it mean that top 4 is 100%? No, I don't think it does, because I think love it or hate it what people say about Todd Bowley's transfer policy. I think when Graham Potter gets a full squad, I think then you can potentially see Chelsea picking up more points than they are already. And that would probably push them maybe more towards getting into the top 4. Newcastle, people think that they're going to go away and stuff when it comes to the EFL Cup because they want to win a trophy and things like that. I don't think so. I think I think Eddie Howe's smart enough to manage that squad, and I think the directors are smart enough to recruit the right kind of players at the right time, even if it is a loan option at the end of the window that they're going to get in, or rather get nobody. But I just think the competition around us for top 4 is a lot harder than it is to even think about pushing for a title. You know, obviously you've got Liverpool still in that conversation. All you need is Liverpool to have a run of 2-3 games, stringing it together where they're clicking, and they'll go on a 10-game unbeaten run. That's what happens with Liverpool. They had it in a previous season where I think they lost like 3 games in the trot, and then something clicked and they won the last 12 games of the season and pushed Manchester City all the way. And that team last year, you love it or hate it, nearly won 4 trophies. They had the opportunity to win 4 trophies, and albeit lost on the last day of the Premier League and a goal in obviously the Champions League final, but the opportunity was there. These teams, they're not rubbish. They are good when they operate in at the highest level and when they're fully firing. And I just think that the only time I always suggest to Man United fans to potentially get Giddy, and I'll say this lightly, is if Manchester United won the EFL Cup, I will say get Giddy. And why would I say that is because that is the definition, and that is the 100% of this team has changed because they've won something together. Whereas under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, where they was built for 3 years, they won nothing. And they had no proof. You couldn't say a word to anybody. Tottenham were getting to finals and they were taking the piss out of us. Arsenal won trophies. Arsenal won an FA Cup with Arteta. They were taking the piss out of us. Chelsea were there or thereabouts in challenging teams. And then they went and won the Champions League, took the piss out of us. City won the league year on year out. Liverpool won the league year on year out. And there's little Man United who did nothing. Absolutely nothing. And they had nothing to prove for it. So what I'm saying is, get over the line with the EFL Cup, then we'll talk. And yeah, I would prefer it be an FA Cup, absolutely. But if you win that first battle, that first trophy in the middle of a season, where the season you've still got many games to go, where you can still win many more trophies, and you can play the best team in the league, I think it's better for Manchester United because at that time, then, that's where I think Erik ten Hag's focus, he has to choose a path. And what do I mean by he has to choose a path? He has to choose to either go through the Premier League route, which is the traditional route of the top 4, like Nurin just said, and Nurin just asked me, or you go through the path of the Europa League. Now, I think the Europa League should be the last option and the last route, even if it means you forfeit winning the trophy. I think you've got to do it. I think I would much rather do it the traditional way of go through in the top 4 model that is set in the Premier League. Whether do I think that, we can get giddy in terms of a title challenge and things like that? No. If we want to try, if we win the EFL Cup, I will be the first one to come on here, the next Monday podcast show that we do on Nuruddin's show, and say, right, now's the time where you can get giddy. Because we've won something as a team. And no other team has done it in this season. Manchester City looking shaky as hell. Liverpool, shaky as hell. Arsenal will be hurting. And I say that with passion. Arsenal will be hurting because we've got their unbeaten record. We're the team that's outdone them. Arteta will be going into that game at the weekend, scratching his head thinking, right, shit, I need to do something different here. Because I had the game in the palm of my hand in the 60th minute. I threw on all these attackers and then I blew the game away because I was chasing the winner. And then we got done on the counter-attack. And away from home, Manchester United on the counter-attack is a lot worse than playing at home on the counter-attack. And especially with how the atmosphere in the stadium. But
oh, is it gone? That's what happens when you get giddy. You know what I mean? Title talk.
Yeah. But I was just saying we need to. I know I've cut out. I was saying that we need to keep the confidence in the team. But obviously, just keep the run going and take it game by game. Like Erik ten Hag's saying, he's not getting giddy. You see Pep every time they mention about the title, his eyes light up.
Yeah, his
eyes light up. They can't get enough of talking about it. Ten Hag's just next game, Crystal Palace away.
Yeah.
Next game. It's the
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. So at the end of the day, we go to Arsenal, and I already said if we get if you want to consider Man United in the title race, they have to avoid losing at Arsenal. If that means you draw, you have to draw. If that means you win, then absolutely brilliant. But you have to avoid defeat if you want to classify Man United as being in the title race. To do it off of a Manchester derby, I don't think is credible. And then if you want to say win a trophy, I think if you win the EFL Cup, I think that's bang on that Man United, right? You could, and we're still in the same position that we are in the league at the same time as the EFL Cup. I think, right, knuckle down, crack on. Then you can say that, well, this team's already won something.
Listen, Saeed, I'm going to ask you the question. Can we say that the form that we're on is top 4 certified? Is top 4 done? Is top 4 in the bag? Or do we need to stop worrying about top 4?
I think personally, yeah, in a way, because of the fact that Liverpool are just terrible. You know what I mean? I think Klopp, they're in the mud right now. They've got a lot of injuries. I still think there'll be more problems than there'll be a resurgence. You know, to don't do what United are doing, and Newcastle fall behind, and then Tottenham as well in there as well. I know Tottenham are doing bad at the minute, but I think Man United, the way we're playing right now, we haven't got that kind of. We have to lose 2 or 3 games on the bounce, man. Like, can you see this Man United team doing that? Like, not anytime soon. I don't believe it. So I think United now, it's not that team where you're going to lose 3-4 on the bounce right now. We've got a mental toughness about us, man. We have to have that kind of confidence in the team. Yes, we might win, might lost the odd one and whatnot, but the bounce back it's been the truth. We lost to Brentford and Brighton, and then we went on a resurgence, and then we lost to Man City. Then we went on another resurgence, then lost to Aston Villa. So if you look at it, we've lost 2 games in the last how many? Maybe 17 games or 15 games around them. So there's a mental toughness. I just feel like for me, top 4 is there in it. It's there to see we're in it. You know what I mean? That we slip out of it would be a huge landslide. It will be a huge kind of like, I don't know. We'd have to break down proper easily for that kind of situation to happen. And then to Liverpool to gain the momentum of win 25 points in a row or whatever it is, or to kind of go above us by a lot as well. I just don't see that. I just think for me, you're right in a sense, Tom. Ten Hag will have to make a decision about Europa League and top 4. Which one's more easier? I said from day one, I think this season, top 4 might be easier than Europa League, only because when you look at competitions,
there's no quality. There's no quality in these top teams at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if you look at Europa League as well, certain game plans could go, might go your way. European football is more, it's dynamic. You never know what team sets up. You might not watch that team week in, week out, and then they might set up a game plan over 2 legs and then defeat you. It can happen. You can go out. So I feel like for me, top 4 looks more reliable than a European spot. Would I say? I would never say though, kind of prioritize one or the other. Just get to that situation and then deal with it as best you can.
Yeah.
So that's the way I look at it. But again, I think top 4 right now, does it look a banker? We can't say it doesn't look a banker, but we can say that we're confident we're getting top 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I said we've got Palace on Wednesday, we've got Arsenal, and then I think we've got favourable results, scoring fixtures all the way up until I think Liverpool maybe leads away. Maybe something like
I'll
that.
take his chances.
Yeah, so again, you know what I mean? It's just whether, I think we've got the quality, man. I think the mental toughness there. We could go on a run. Like, we've never had that before in a long while.
Let me ask you a question, sir. Yeah. In terms, forget about squad depth and forget about the bench of teams and things like that. Let's just go based off of everybody's best starting 11. Where does this Manchester United team rank in the league off of its best starting 11? No substitutions, no bench, nothing.
Man City and Arsenal, and then after that, I think it's United.
So yeah, well, this is the thing that I'm saying, because you look at that Liverpool first team, that starting 11 is all they have. They don't have a bench really at all. They don't have a Garnacho to come on and change the game. They don't have a dynamic. They don't have these dynamic players. They're all out injured. Jota, Diaz. These kind of players are all out injured. These dynamic players that come on and change a game in 15, 20 minutes. They don't have those get out of jail cards anymore. That's why I'm asking the question, because I look at it based on the starting 11. And if we can keep people fully fit, we have the insurance policy now around Martial, where we have workhorse. So if needs to be called upon, I trust it. And like Eric Ten Hag has said, And this is the one reason why I think with Ten Hag, like you said, Saeed, he'll cross the bridge when it comes to it with which road he's going to go down.
Yeah.
For me, I think the quality in the Premier League is far lesser because in recent years you've had to get 95 plus points to win the league. I think it'll only take about 88 or 90 just to win this year's league. And that just shows the drop off in quality from City and Liverpool because the competitiveness isn't there to max each other out. But like you say, the only thing that we've got to look for is this game against Arsenal. And let's not overlook Crystal Palace because Palace have just come off a loss. They're going to be hurting. They're going to be wanting to get revenge. They came off that thumping with Spurs as well. They're going to want to get some sort of get back in the game. So at the end of the day, we played the pre-season game. Pre-season matters for nothing. But Ten Hag, I trust in the methods and the plans that he's going to put out. And I don't think he's stupid. I think he knows that some of these players are going to be burning out very soon if he doesn't start to rotate and rest. Exactly. Even in games that he's going to have to risk. Like Palace, for example, you might have to sacrifice a Bruno Fernandes not playing or somebody like a Rashford not playing and play Garnacho. Because ultimately these players could get to London, it could get to North London, to the Emirates, and they could be gassed. They could be burnt out. And then after 45 minutes, you might as well bring them off because they've run out of air. They've run out of gas.
100%. Listen, 100%. And that's going to be a very interesting thing. I just want to big up Khalid Ramadan Lassie. He says here, Manchester United right back. So yeah, we'll talk about a loan, but because of the negotiations, it's only going to be a loan guy if we're going to get anyone. I don't think we're going to get a right back because Juan Bissaka is fit.
There's not any names now.
I said the Elanga loan. Why did you go and swap him for Yusuf Mukiyoko, the one that you were saying, Nurdin?
Yeah,
and everyone that won't happen, but we can get a deal with that one. I don't know, but then again, if they want to keep him.
Yeah, but listen, but he's saying here the contract from Manchester are looking to renew David De Gea. David De Gea actually they've took the year option on Rashford, Diego Dalot, and Luke Shaw, and Fred, I think. Diego Dalot is complicated because they tried to get him to take a bigger wages for a longer contract. So that's what's happening. But big up Logan as well. Logan is saying here, Man UFC have set up shop front this week in Davos, Switzerland, but installed the lounge was to entertain clients and partner rather than attract buyers for the club, Reuters. So Logan continues here. Big up Logan and Khalees, by the way. Man UFC are already lining up, sign Victor Osimhen, but the Giddy is. No, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. Basically, they were interested in a deal, apparently, for Ronaldo plus 100 million. Nah, mate, it's not happening. I can't see that happening. But big up Sport Witness. Oh my God, I've got better contacts than Sport Witness have. But big up Logan. So it's going to be very, very interesting. Moyes on Woodward is talking about Moyes on Woodward sacking him. I found out about my sacking through the media. I tried to make contact and say, why don't we meet? But it didn't suit.
There's the second part. Keep reading. It gets funny.
Before I knew, he called me in the day after, and the whole world knew about it before. Listen, I could have told you that.
Welcome to Man United.
Listen, I could have told you that the first day that you came into that job, you were not the right guy, mate. Me, everybody and their nan knew you would be the 199 guy United would have interviewed. You've only just got an interview, not the job. So yeah, know your place. Big up Khalid Ramadan Lassie, Chief United Real Therapy reporter. Here we go. Workhorse talking here. Can't wait to get started. Theatre of Dreams. I'll give my all. An incredible club. Let's go, Reds. Okay. Big up Chris Sal. Yes, with a super chat. I am sticking to my prediction last week. 4 points. We are getting top 4. Adding the Palace fixture, 3 points, a Palace and a draw against Arsenal. Wow, that's big. That is big. Nottingham Forest could consider recruiting another goalkeeper this winter to compensate for Dean Henderson's injury. Did he get injured?
Yeah, he's got an elbow injury.
That's a shame, man.
He's got an elbow injury.
No, man. They're doing well at the minute.
4 weeks. So anyway, he would have missed anyway. He would have missed the 2 games
he wouldn't
anyway.
Have anyway, to be fair. So
yeah, he would have missed the 2 games anyway. So big up. And Logan here tells us Marco Royce represented the deck. Listen, Mark Royce is a granddad. How can I be? I'm sick of Man United signing granddads. Man,
they're not signing him.
Listen to me.
Calm your blood pressure. They're not.
Listen, let me just say this. Royce is a granddad, and he's the biggest injury-prone granddad. You're moaning about Martial, and your fan base want to get giddy because his agent was in the crowd. I'm sorry, I'm not hearing it.
Where's
Big up
the
Logan
source?
for reporting it though.
Where's the source from?
No. It's been picture side. He was there. He's big.
No,
it's all over
his
media.
representatives have been there,
Yeah.
but
Listen,
Yeah.
his
it's
agents and all
bollocks.
that. But he might have other city players who they're representing. You don't know that. It could be Gundogan's agent. They could have the same agent.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I
By the
think
way, Gundogan, since Gundogan told
Marco
the truth
Royce
about,
ain't coming, don't worry.
listen,
Yeah.
since Gundogan told the truth about Man City's lack of motivation, he's not been in a team, innit? He didn't come on at all. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, Saeed. He was the first one I looked in the team sheet because he's the goal scorer for him.
Mm.
I was saying, thank you so much, Pep. Thank God he's not playing. Because you know what? You know when they're not functioning all right, he comes up with a goal from nowhere, Saeed.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Well, look at the last season last year, man. Them 2 goals out of nothing.
He's there. I think every derby, I always think Gundogan's always going to score. So listen, I'm glad he didn't play, man. And like I said, I'm glad Grealish should start as well, man, because Grealish caused us problems when he came on. Started running at people, started hacking him down, and that there was a tackle that Casemiro made, and I thought he 2-footed him, man. Casemiro hurt himself, and I was like, "Yo, man, chill out, man."
Oh my God! Listen, I'm telling you now, when Casemiro went down, it was part of it. It's part of the shithousery because the way he was banging the floor, like holding his leg, the way he was holding his leg, all of us were like, "Oh my God!" And then did you see what he did to our physio?
You see what he did,
though? When he took him down the touchline, he started punching the physio, giving him.
He said, "Get off me!"
I'm like, yo, I'm like, listen, he's too much hot-headed, and then he's even strangling the kids.
Bro, he's mad.
Listen, Saeed, I'm not gonna lie to you. Those 2 kids, when they got home, they went straight to bed. Do you know why? From literally inhaling his BO, because he had them both underneath his armpits. I'm telling you, it's like that. Honestly, they went to bed straight away when they got home, those 2 kids. Because he crushed their heads, mate. He was doing a UFC. So I was like, why? This is not WWF, mate. Like, you don't hug like that, especially these kids, because they're not tall enough to give him a proper hug. But he was giving the ball away, Saeed. I hope you realize he was panicking on the ball. Him and Bruno in that first half and the second half were, I'm like, frustrating, giving the ball away. And still, there's this thing that was there with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer where they panic. And the only guy that was not panicking, guess who it was? It was Wan-Bissaka. That was the only guy on possession of the ball who was not panicking.
Malacia was unbelievable. I thought Malacia was excellent. He gives us so much security that you're not going to go past him, man. You know, Malacia deserves his credit.
Saeed, you know what? It's the fight, Saeed. Letting Maris know today's not your day. I'm not even going to let you turn. There are different ways to defend, Saeed. Different ways. Is let the player have the ball and then face him up and whatever. Or the other thing is every time the ball is there, he was given the license. To be fair, because he was dropping in, Fred, they were taking in turns. Bruno sometimes covering behind him. Because at times he was following Mahrez all the way up the pitch and they were covering for him. But that's what it was. And that's what we need to do. We need other players. So you can't just blame that player because no, that player is getting psychologically getting into his head of his direct opponent because he's letting him know wherever you're going, mate, I'm following you. You're going to the toilet, I'm coming too, mate. I'm coming. Okay, you have a number 2. I'm coming, mate. I'm everywhere where you need to. Where you're gonna go, you're not gonna face me and try to take me on. And that's what I love. And at times, Saeed, Luke Shaw on the left-hand side doesn't have that. He doesn't. And we know that he doesn't have that. He fouls people. You know when they run past him, he's lazy sometimes when he grabs them. So like that. But Malacia there, right on him, risking it. And that's what we needed. And I'm not going to lie to you, Mahrez was their form guy going into this game. He was their form guy.
Yeah.
Form guys.
One thing, though, with the Palace game upcoming anyway, Casemiro and Fred are already on 4 yellow cards. So there's the potential there that they could miss the Arsenal game, given this. And this is what I mean about management. They're on 4 yellow cards, and if you get 5, then you're suspended for the next Premier League fixture, aren't you?
Okay,
so
I trust Casemiro not to get a yellow card, touch wood, but I don't trust Fred.
No, I don't. That is what I mean. I don't trust Fred. I think McTominay will probably play Fulham. I think McTominay's on 3.
By the way, McTominay is on a horrendous form, by the way. Horrendous.
I know.
Well, what option do you have? Donny van de Beek's on crutches, so...
Honestly,
That's
And
what
this
we
is
need.
what we mean about the squad depth. No squad depth, guys.
Honestly, get Manu on. Give him a go.
You know, that's why he played him against Thingy. Bro, my
Charlton.
thing is, and as well, Iqbal, man. Bro, what's going on with Iqbal?
Iqbal played. You know why, Saeed? You know why? They needed a creative player against
Hmm.
Liverpool. He played in the youth team on the 23s.
I know he did there. I understand that, but you know, this is the
They're
only
looking
option.
for a loan move for him, though. They want him to go to the Championship for the 6
He needs to go
months.
to Middlesbrough, man. He needs to go to Middlesbrough or something like that. He needs
Hmm.
experience. But I think we need midfielder, man. United needs to go get a
Come say Miasi. Big up say Miasi. Vieira will do his club a favour. Vieira. Oh,
Vieira.
Oh,
Whoa.
big C. The ball. And so
And
what?
I know what
Therefore. We go there. Every time you mention his name, we're going to always sing that song, mate. We're always going to do it. Vieira will do his club a favour. Then we beat United. Then we'll be 12 points ahead in a game in hand. Odegaard, Saka, best attack force in the league. Facts. Okay. Okay. Listen, after what he did to Spurs yesterday, you can be a bit buoyant. I'll give you that. You're allowed to be buoyant. I'm not going to say you smoking a bit this, but Palace is always a tough game for us. Tough game for us.
You know, look at the record. It's not
always
great
a tough game for us.
record at Palace. You know, last year we lost 1-0. Obviously, Ten Hag seen that game. The year before that, I think was it 0-0 or was it 0-0? It might be 0-0, you know. And then the year before that, I think we last minute winner, Jose Mourinho. So it's not been a happy hunting ground. No, actually, the year before that, we might have won 2-1. I think maybe was it Luke Shaw that scored a goal or someone. But we think we won it. But it's not been a happy hunting ground. It's been last minute winners, or it's been they've won, or it's been a draw. So it's gonna be a sticky game, man. I just always think it's always tough at Palace. And the crowd are up for it as well. For them, it's like, you know what I mean, United's coming into town, innit? So let's start our season now. And they've been on bad form, you know. So if they need a game to win, it's now. Like to start their season again, because you never know that with the relegation zone and whatnot, you just never know. So it's gonna be a tough game, and get out there with 3 points, 1-0. I remember going to Wolves, man. Wolves were difficult as well. We got the 1 minute, 1-0, get out of there, 3 points.
Yeah.
The good one. So, yeah, man.
I'm going to ask you, Saeed. Is this why? Because is this the reason why the Scott McTominay rumors have started again? Because apparently Bruno Gomes left.
He left on crutches.
In crutches. Is this why this is? Do you think this is why the link is for Scott McTominay?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. You know, 30 million, a lot of money. You know, man.
They don't. The only thing though that I'm going to say with Newcastle is they're not going to knee jerk into buying somebody. I think they'll knee jerk into maybe getting a loan in for 6 months, because they don't really need a. Once Guimaraes comes back, then what do you do with Scott McTominay, really? What, he becomes a squad player for Newcastle? That's all that he is at Man United at the moment. You're just buying somebody else's problem for 30 million. There's not really much point in that, is there, really?
Yeah.
Unless they offered a loan move for McTominay, but they're going to ask for a loan loan fee. And if I'm being honest, unless Man United are going to opt to get somebody in, I think we need McTominay. And I'll be the last person to say it, but...
Yeah.
Can I just say though? I think we could cash in and then, you know,
go and get somebody for 30 million.
Yeah, and then
come on though, guys. Who are we going to get in the last 10 days or whatever for 30 million? Man, you know what Man United's like.
I think we could get
15 days.
15 days. Well,
you never know, on their after contracts, you know, maybe players in.
What Tillemans or somebody then?
You know who I would get? I would get that guy that plays for Onje. What's that guy called? The one that played Unahi. Imagine Unahi in this midfield. Unahi would be a brilliant midfielder. And I think for me, his price tag, 30 million, that sounds about right.
But there's the World Cup tax and then there's the Man United tax. It'll be 50 million before you know it. That's the problem.
But you know what?
Big up Sammy.
Oh.
Sammy Yassi's back again, guys. He said they should have a boxing match. So Ty and the Spurs fan who came to Ramsdale. They should have. To be fair, I thought Ramsdale, that's his best game I've seen for Arsenal. I hope he don't last. I hope he throws in a howler against United. I'm really hoping that, because they're a bit too cocky for my liking. So he only has one good game a season. So I hope that he got it out of the way. But he made 3 good saves. But I thought Spurs were toothless. Saeed, please talk to me about Conte. Please. The guy that you and the rest of the fan base...
The man with the wig.
Please tell me, well, how can he not see that they're getting outnumbered in midfield, Saeed? Please explain to me. How can he not see that?
I think I'm done with Conte, man. That's it now.
No, but seriously. No, on a serious note. Why do you think he's playing those two guys? Then when they're getting outnumbered.
You know why?
Every team they're getting outnumbered.
He's trying to be like Mourinho, innit? You know, with these managers, they're very stubborn. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to make a statement. They're trying to basically tell the board that we don't have, players in it. And this is it. This is him basically saying, you know what, sod it. I'm going to play these players to let you know that I don't have players in it. And this is what he does, innit? You know what I mean? I'll be honest with you. I just don't see what Conte is trying to do. I don't know, man. He's almost like lost his way tactically. People can't deny Conte as a tactician, yeah. He knows how to set up games, especially big games. But even that, I'm starting to like every day, 5 at the back, every day, same personnel, every day. You know what I mean? There's
nothing
kind of
fresh. Yeah.
He starts off everything late. Then they go for it at the end of the game when it's game over.
No,
why not?
Listen, Saeed, save it for the big 6. Is it tonight or tomorrow?
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Is it tonight or tomorrow?
No, tonight. Later
on. Toby, if you're out there somewhere, Saeed's coming.
They're on depression mode, man. Tottenham fans right now. They're
He's wearing a wig. That Antonio Conte, he's wearing a wig. He's a fraud like the wig, mate. He is a fraud like the wig he wears, mate. That's what it is.
But you know what it just shows you. This is why, at the time, don't get me wrong, I did say Conte, but this is before we were linked with Ten Hag.
To be fair to you, I remember Ollie was doing your nothing. You were like anybody but Ollie. At that time, you would have had Tom and me managing Man United.
Yeah, exactly. So, but then when it became Ten Hag and Pochettino, Ten Hag was my guy. So, end of the day, I didn't want to go.
It shows you, though, innit? The owners. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I agree with you, Tom. I think Gary Neville doing that thing shocked the club into getting, because I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of the people at the club, Woodward and them guys wanted, and remember, Woodward was still in charge by this time. He was still involved in the club. They wanted who? They wanted Pochettino. A lot of people wanted, because Fergie and Pochettino love each other. The media love him, but it was us. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've got the WhatsApp messages between me and Mundo. Me and Maito Mundo. Yeah, me 2 and a bit years ago. When he went from Bayern Munich, went back to Germany, we're looking at young coaches, and we were like, you know what? What about that Ten Hag guy? Let's see how he does at Ajax. This is like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Like, let's see how he does at Ajax, because we're hearing good things about this guy. He plays really good football. And then he did what he did with Ajax, taking them to the Champions League, playing. Ajax were horrendous. They were a Europa League team before Ten Hag came. They were a Europa League team for years, and they took them. But listen, I'll take it now. I'm not going to lie to you. If you said to me, sell Son McTominay to Newcastle and get that money, 20 million for Amrabat, I'll do it now. Now. I'll do it. I'll do the deal within half an hour. Trust me. This guy would be amazing for United.
I mean, I'll throw a name out there anyway. I'd go and get PSV midfielder Ibrahim Sangare, personally, for me.
Or that Kone kid who plays for Bruce. You know that. You know that. I think is it Werder Bremen or Bruce?
No,
Gladbach.
Yeah.
Gladbach he plays for.
That Kone kid, go and get that Kone kid. He's got energy. He runs with the ball, mate. There we go. You've got it, AB. Listen, I'm gonna ask my other question in here in the part of the topic. So we've covered it. You guys think that top 4. Tom's like cautious. Saeed's like we should be, because we don't lose too many games. And Tom is saying, if I'm right, Tom, summing up your answer, you're saying that Liverpool can put 10 games together, so we're not fully there yet, because it's halfway, because we're only halfway.
Liverpool, and if Chelsea get their players back, I think they can easily cultivate some of them.
Right. I'm not going to lie to you. We were in the stadium, Saeed, right? Casemiro goes down. Rashford goes down. And we're all...
Sticky.
Listen, we all have to get up and then look behind our seats, you know what I mean, for some stains. Let's just put it that way. You know what I mean? Let's put it that way. We all catch our pants when those two go, when we're like, oh, damn. And you know what, Saeed, it reminded me so much about, I don't know about you, but it reminded me so much on the Ollie time where where Rashford is not fully fit and he can't fully run, and I'm getting frustrated with him. And I'm like, we can't afford to carry passengers. I was like, change him. So you don't understand. I was going apoplectic. That's the word to describe what I was doing. Get him off. He can't run. And everybody's looking at me like a madman. Sitting next to me at a football game.
When I seen Anthony, I was like, yep, that means Rashford is off. But he didn't take him off. But this shows you how much he relies heavily on Rashford. And even though he didn't really have an amazing second half, I thought he was looking like he was one-legged because he was running with one leg. You know, the first half he was actually running with one leg because he kept holding it like that. So I thought he wasn't ready to play. But then again, like I said, the momentum of the crowd lifted him and they gave him that last bit of 20%, 30% that he didn't have. They gave it him. So, you know what I mean? That is a huge testament to the first goal, the adrenaline, how a derby can do that to you. But I get Casemiro, I thought he was down. I thought even Wan-Bissaka, I don't know if you see Wan-Bissaka. You know when Wan-Bissaka nearly gave the ball to De Bruyne? He made a mistake. And then even after that, then he was holding his leg because I think he overstretched. So even then I was like, damn, Wan-Bissaka was up because we got no right back on the bench. You know, with Dalot's out, you know, so it's mad.
Was crazy. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you. It was crazy because we're all holding our breath. I don't know if that came through. Tom, but we're all holding our breath. So this idea of Man United going for league titles, if you get to me, we have to get a midfield player and a strike, and another forward that can score goals. That's what Man United have to go and get, because now, officially, we're accepting that Martial is injured. Martial can have a week off now to recuperate, right? Get ready for the Leeds game or whatever, the next Palace game or whatever it is, because I don't want to see him. I don't want a player. I mean, big up Martial, by the way. I know he's got his distractors. I know that, but he put a shift in for the team, even with one leg. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? In that first half, he made us, he held the ball up for us, even though he was doing a little bit of pressing as he could. He was just standing on one player. He wasn't running around like a headless chicken because he didn't have the legs to do it because he was injured. But he did a job for us. But I want him to get over this injury properly. So I think Man United can go and get Trossard. He can play as a number 10.
I'm sorry. No, I don't like his personality though.
Let me finish. Before he left, he was banging in goals. No, you can have a different opinion to me, 100%. No, nothing wrong with that. But he's the goal scorer in this league. And another guy that Man United can go and look on loan is Frank Kessie, because he's not featuring for Barcelona. I'm not seeing him play for Barcelona lately. I've not seen him in a team sheet, if I'm not mistaken. So there are 2 loan 5 months opportunities to go and push United, because if you want to get positive results, right, we are in a title race whether we like it or not. Whether what I think or not.
Can I just jump in
the next 2 games, say that again.
Just before you jump about Frank Kessie, the only reason why Barcelona want to sell him because we're in the
Europa League. Sell him. I don't want to buy him on loan.
No, even alone, because we're in the Europa League and we basically are going to be battling them for the Europa League. So after the game, because he wouldn't play anyway against Barcelona.
Well, they can put. They can put the clause on there, innit? They can put the clause on there that he doesn't play those 2 games.
Well, they will do, won't they?
I don't know. I just think for me, Frank Kessie is an interesting option, man. You know what I mean? And if you could do it, why not? But Barcelona, would they loan him after what happened with De Jong and that situation? I'm not sure. But
I think they would. They'd give you Depay in a heartbeat.
They give you Depay, yeah.
I think they'd give Kessie.
Yeah.
No, but
I don't know about the Trossard one though, because I just think that the fuss that he's
what do you
kicked
think
up in that team.
About Trossard?
I just think the his agent and things like that, I don't really think that's the kind of player that we need to be signing. Yeah, I know we need attacking options and stuff, but you have Pellistri that you can use, who we've seen moments of quality, and I think he does deserve to have an opportunity and have a chance. Sancho's still to come back in the fray as well. Like we say, I think Ten Hag's clearly got a plan for him, or how he's going to try and operate and use him in the right sort of way. So you have 2 players there that can cover the likes of a Rashford needing a rest, or, you know, if he needs to come off early or things like that as a precaution. I think you have the cover there in the wide positions. I think we've covered the striking situation and his issue with Martial's injury issues now with Weghorst as well, and he doesn't need to get...
What about if he gets injured? That happens. Players get injured. We've got over... We're in 4 competitions, Tom, and, right, 4 competitions...
And this is why I think Ten Hag needs to drop one.
Let me finish. So many games, back-to-back, we're playing almost every 3 games. So every week, 3 games a week, till the season's up. If we go deep into those competitions, and a player can get injured even though so nobody can guarantee that work's not going to get injured. Then who do we have then? But go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that with the Trossard thing, like, yeah, you can buy him.
Can I just remind you one thing, Tom? Just the last bit, then you can come back at me. I'll remind you of this. When I looked on the bench on Saturday, I saw Lindelof, Maguire, Martinez, Elanga, and Garnacho. That's it. 3 central defenders and 2 guys who are attacking options. And we need more attacking options on that bench, because one of the biggest things for us to be in a title race, you have to score goals. We don't score enough goals. We make chances, but we don't score them. That's the reason why I'm going for Trossard, but you can disagree totally. Please smash a like on the video, people. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Big up to Notorious Fat. He says, no, I'm actually giddy. Then Ten Heisenberg got me gassed. Big up.
I feel like you, I don't know, sometimes you always preach that you would want a player that isn't, going to cause a dressing room and and what. Would you, Norman, that's why I'm surprised you want Trossard in it. Attacker, you know what I mean? That's available.
Now, Saeed, you know why? The reason why I'm saying Trossard, I know for 100% fact, when a player's got a point to prove, a player fell out with a manager where he was at, right? The player then, Saeed, you know what it is? He's not signed his contract, right? So he can go on a free. So Brighton will try to get him to sign his contract. And I think the manager went too heavy-handed on him. That's what I meant to mention in the other, because I forgot about that point, right? So he's got 6 months left on his contract. They might take a year optional or whatever. We don't know that if he's got a 1 year optional. So I'm going to let you come back, yeah? But for him to put himself in the shop window for 6 months and play for a team and a team unity, there's a club there. I think that, listen, for example, I'll give you an example. If you're a strong enough manager, nobody's a problem causer. Do you know why? Cantona left Leeds side because he was the problem guy. There was all sorts of kick-off things, all sorts of doing stuff with different players' wives. All these rumors were swirling. What did Fergie say? Embrace the madness, embrace the short-temperness, accepting players for what they are. But go ahead, Tom. Get back at me about Trossard. Tell me the reasons why you do not want Trossard anywhere near Man United.
I just don't think it's what we did right now, to be honest. When you've got this positive energy and you've got this vibe, and love it or hate it, De Zerbi's gone in there and he's took over the role and the model of Graham Potter in the space of like 2 months, basically, and he's still got them kicking and playing the same style of football. And Trossard was one of those key players that was in that Brighton team. And even though now he's surplus to requirements, they're still playing the same brand of football and they're still playing the same style and the way of saying. And yes, I understand what you're saying about if we brought him in on, honestly, if we brought him in on loan, I don't really have a problem with it, to be honest. I'm just saying, if we're going to go out there and spend 12, 15 million pounds, maybe 20 million on a permanent deal for him, I don't think we should do permanent. I think if you're going to do a loan,
Tom, I never said a permanent. I said loan.
Okay. Well, I didn't need the specification, but
specifically what I was talking about. If any of you have seen that his agents is the most damning statement said about a manager and a club. His agent is gone in on Brighton and the manager, because I think they would try to bully him, Saeed, to sign a contract. He's not having it, and they've gone out and tried to sideline him. But I'm telling you, to me, all I know is that from past experience, certain players who get sidelined, he's got the biggest, him and his agent have got the biggest incentive and points to prove. And the thing about it, Saeed, he was on fire before the World Cup. He scored Saeed, who scores a hat-trick at Anfield. And the thing about it, Saeed, you know what? He can play anywhere across the front three. Anywhere across the front three.
I don't think he'd come Man United anyway. I think he'll go with Spurs or an Arsenal or somewhere like that.
Exactly.
All I'm saying to you, it's a loan. And by the way, some people said to me, "Oh, you can't loan me. You've already loaned the guy from Crystal Palace." No, you can loan. You can loan players as long as they're not from the same club.
Yeah. You can't still loan them. But at the end of the day, if it's for till the end of the season, honestly, I don't have a problem with that at all. And then we can potentially discuss however well he does, if you want to buy him on a permanent solution deal or not. But I think, the time frame of it all obviously goes back to, say, if new owners come in as well. I just don't think that it's what I don't just think that it's a Ten Hag sort of player, if I'm honest. I know that might seem a bit damning and a bit, in the dumps, but Ten Hag's already made it clear that I'm not just going to sign players for the sake of it. And for the
Exactly.
sake of that, Trossard's in the window and he needs a club. Why should we feel sorry for him and give him that opportunity? Why should we? I just don't really see what there is, major to offer about him. And if this was the case, Nuruddin,
Goals.
hang on. Let me finish.
Tom,
Let me finish. If this was the
goals,
case, though.
goals.
No.
Man United is
But if
not
this was the
scoring enough
case,
goals.
why is
I wanna-
somebody not coming for him earlier and
No,
bought
no,
him
no,
before
listen.
for 50, 60 million? This is
No,
the
no,
problem.
listen. No, listen what I'm saying to you, Tom. You can come back at me. The reason why I'm saying him, because I'm looking around, players who have fell out with managers, players who are on benches, who have got goals in them, and that's the reason why, to me, Trossard escaped. If you said to me, somebody Ten Hag wants from the Yugoslavian league or the Bulgarian or Romanian league, I don't care. As long as somebody who can finish, who's got goals. So it don't have to be Trossard. It doesn't have to be. I agree with you. We don't have to feel sorry for him. I'm just saying, somebody that you don't have to worry about settling in the league, somebody who's been banging in goals this season for little old Brighton in big games. That's the reason why I focused in a little bit on him. But go ahead.
No. But I'm just saying, like, if you go for the loan option, I'm not so asked about it. And yeah, you can say
I
things
never
like,
want to buy him. I never want to buy him. I want
and
Man
like you
United to
say,
go and get a striker in the summer.
yeah,
I never wanted to buy
absolutely.
him.
But this is what I mean. So this is why I'm saying, and I look at it from Ten Hag's point of view. I just don't think Ten Hag's the sort of manager that looks at the market and thinks, all right, well, he's available because publicly he's been made available by his agent. Right, let's go and get him. I just don't think he's that kind of manager. I think his style and his presence is more of a case of if we have to negotiate to a club to get a loan deal, or we have to buy somebody out of a football club mid-term, then I think that's the sort of way he wants to operate at the end of the day, Ten Hag.
Tommy doesn't want to loan anyway. He wants to go. He wants to leave. He wouldn't. I don't think we're getting for a loan anyway. He wants to leave Brighton.
Well, listen, if he wants to leave, then it's going to be permanent, isn't it? And the only permanent options I'm looking at, I'm thinking, who needs a wide player right now? Because we're not crying out for wide players at this moment in time. I don't think. Anyway, I think the only clubs that I can realistically see him going to is Arsenal because they got burnt with the Mudryk deal, and they need somebody ASAP as squad depth cover for their attackers, or he goes to somewhere like a Spurs because Spurs need to do some sort of smokescreen or cover to showcase that they're backing Antonio Conte. They're the only two places that I can see. I don't think he's going to go abroad with barely 15 days to go in the window. I don't think his agents are that made of magic to make a deal happen that quickly and that fast.
Listen,
but
I take everything you guys.
Yeah, if you want to bring him in for the rest of the season, no problem.
Yeah, listen, I have never said sign him permanently. I don't think anybody's going to sign him permanently because they're not going to get that type of money and the wages and the money that the Brighton won in January, right? I don't think they're going to do that, and he's not going to get the wages that he wants for a proper contract till the summer. I'm looking around. I'm thinking if Man United win these 2 next games, they're in a title race, whether we like it or not. All right, whether we like it or not, we're in a title race. Even though I'm saying, then that means then Manchester United have to have 3 players off the bench in attacking areas that can affect the games and can bring goals. And Trossard, he came to my head because only when I saw the damning statement from the agent, and at times, alone is only alone. I never want to have him because I think that we got covered in wide areas.
That's the whole point.
But the fact that he can play as a number 10 and as a central guy, because Walkers can get injured. I touch wood, I hope he never gets injured, but he can get injured. But the amount of games we're playing, I'm thinking Martial is out for me. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm not relying on Martial to ever be fit. That's my mentality. And I'm thinking we need goals in this team. The reason why I don't feel we're in a title race is because we're not scoring goals. And goals win games. We don't concede a lot. We're not scoring goals. And we have so many chances but miss them. And that's it. But Saeed, when would you think Man United are in a title race? Do you think Man United could be in a title race if we don't have the attacking options of the bench? If we don't have the attacking options of the bench?
I think being in the title race and believing you're going to win it are 2 different things. I think we're in a title race mathematically. The fact that City 1 point behind, you could say Newcastle are in a title race, but necessarily you're not going to win it. I think for me, beat Palace and beat definitely Arsenal, and then it's on. United are in the title race because Arsenal have got to play City twice. We've already played City twice. They have to face them twice. And Man City are in this title race, so they'll believe that they're going to win the title. So, we've got to, for me, beat these next 2 games. Then you will see me openly admit that Man United are in a title race and I will back my team to win it then. Because then, only 3 points behind Arsenal. So, you know what I mean? I just think right now, let's beat Palace, let's beat Arsenal, and then, only then can we talk about that and say, you know what? But even then, people will say, oh, wait till March, wait till, late February at least, until you can say that. So, but the main thing is this game by game, take it game by game for now, and then let's see where this United team goes, because it's a lot of injuries, we never know with injuries, combination. That's why, for me, midfielder is so key, man. I just think if you've got midfield balance, you've got midfield rotation, everything else can sort itself out. The attack, we've got enough wingers, we've got enough bodies up front. You know what I mean? I just think right now, in the midfield area, we're light. One injury, and then you're playing McFred again.
Let me come back at you there then, Saeed. Because to me, I'm going to say Martial's injured. And Sancho, we're not putting time on it. So we're 2 players down in terms of forward line, right?
Okay.
So this is what I'm trying to say to you. For Man United to go in for a title, we need to have 3 players we can bring on, except for put Martial aside, put Sancho aside. Another 3 players that can score goals in games. I think our defense, yes, we need a midfield 100%. For me, a midfield and a goal-scoring forward has to be the key to get them loans. And I think you can do those loans. I'm not going to lie to you. Listen, the brother, articulated the agent, yeah? Footballer, right? I spoke to him. He says to me, the loan market goes off crazy in January because agents and players are looking for opportunity to shine in different leagues for different clubs for them to be bought in the summer.
That's true. I think for me,
what we need.
The only thing with the loan situation, Trossard with the loan, I don't think it'll work, Nuruddin, only because United at the minute, I don't think Trossard as well for himself wouldn't want a loan. He wants to leave. He wants to play first opportunities.
But he's not going to get a permanent contract because
he will. Tottenham made a bid, so that means
Tottenham. I think Tottenham would give him a permanent deal.
Tottenham would.
How much? Bid?
They offered 12 million.
No, yeah. They're not accepting that. Listen, it's
no,
about
they
the
haven't
wages,
accepted.
Saeed.
They've rejected it, but that's what they offered.
Saeed, I'm not going to lie to you. He's one of the highest earners in Brighton, yeah? One of the high earners in Brighton.
Yeah.
If Spurs are not, you know what Levy's like. Harry Kane is the highest paid player, right? He wants big wages. It's his last contract. Yeah, I think he's 28 or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
It's 28. Yeah. It's probably his last contract.
He's on he wants big wages. And he's happy to wait to go to Italy or Spain. The way the agent's talking for me, that's what it sounds like. So I don't think he's going to get the move that he wants to a permanent move in this January. I don't think he is. Only if him and Brighton were really all right. If they were all right, then I would say so. But Tom, how do Man United sustain a title challenge without having attacking options who got goals off the bench? Explain that to me.
They don't. It's simple as that. I don't think they do. And I always stand by it. I don't genuinely think that there is this optimism that Man United can win the title this year. I think if we were serious about operating in the right and proper way, and if these owners or even the directors, even in Murto and stuff, believed that Man United could potentially not win it, but go all the way and win it, they would be scrambling around for loans, Nuruddin. They would be scrambling around to get an extra midfielder in there because of the Donny van de Beek situation. They would be scrambling around to get, an extra attacker or two potentially on loan because Manchester United, they need those options. They need those players there. And sometimes it's that one loan signing or that one signing in January that can get you over the line at the end of the day with, the title or with something productive in many cases. We had it, for instance, with Bruno Fernandes. He was the player that came in, impacted us so much that he got us the top 4 in that season, and it changed and it divided our seasons. Arsenal, if they would have got their hands on Mudryk, for example, he could have been a player that could have got them those extra 10, 15 goals that could have got them over the line and won them the title. But only time will tell if that pays out to be a success at Chelsea as opposed to at Arsenal. But I just think if Manchester United was serious, and if these directors and stuff believed in Erik ten Hag as much as we do as the fans, they would be scraping around every single day around the loan market, and you would be hearing a lot more reports and a lot more leaks about Man United are linked to this player, Man United are linked to that player, loan deal here, permanent deal here, 15, 20 million, 30, 3 million loan fee or whatever. You'd have all these different players that are getting linked. But you know the reason why nobody's getting linked now, Nuruddin? Because the business is shut. These directors, and knowing that in the summer, when a new ownership is going to take over, potentially in the midterm first quarter of the year, that Manchester United, they will not have the job. They will not be employed anymore by new ownership, regardless of who it is. They ain't going to be employed. These people will be moved on, paid off, and gone. See you later, never heard of again. So these people aren't going to care for the decision that they're going to make for the next two weeks, for example, which could impact Manchester United season. They ain't going to care. They've not cared for however long they've been here. Some of these directors, so why would they care now? At the end of the day.
Listen in the chat. Let me know. Put in the chat what players do you think who can score goals that can help Man United on a loan. Let me know. Let me know. A lot of people. There are some for, some against, but I wouldn't sign Trossard. I would rather keep the spot open for Isa Hassan Aaron, most talented forward in the youth setup. Yeah. No, I'm not signing him on a permanent. Please don't get it twisted. I'm just saying 5 months loan. And the reason, and to me, I'll take keeping Pellistri and bringing Ahmad back. But Ten Hag has already said he doesn't want to bring Ahmad back because Ahmad is on a trajectory and he wants him to finish the season and then join up in preseason. Then he'll look at him. So that's the reason. To me, I look at it, guys. If Man United, if some of you are getting giddy and think that we're in a title challenge, first of all, question is, can Man United get amongst the title? Are we in a title challenge? Secondly, we haven't. I know that we haven't because I looked at that bench on Saturday, and let me remind you again. When Casemiro went down, when Rashford went down, we shit our pants. We did. We absolutely shit our pants. So tell me, guys, let me know, please. I beg you, what players you want to loan in because we're not going to sign anybody by money. The Glazers are broke. So what loans can we bring who can contribute to goals? And Varkas can get injured. To me, Martial, and this is my mind, Martial and Sancho are both out. They're out for me. They're out. So I'm not including them. I just want better options for this manager in the last 15 minutes, 20 minutes in the game, who can be a goal threat. That's what I'm talking about. If some of you think that we're in a title race. The guy from Inter Milan, who? What guy from Inter Milan? Who? We're talking about striker? Who are we talking about? Let me know in the comments. Are United in a title challenge? Are we in a title race? If you get positive results against Palace and Arsenal, if so, who are we getting? Lukaku? Now you're taking the biscuit. Kessie, I'll take Kessie. I'm not going to lie to you. I will take Kessie. Would you take Kessie on loan for 6 months, Tom?
6 months on loan? Yeah, I'd take him. We need a midfielder, so yeah, I'd take him.
Yeah, so for me, the Inter Milan striker, Martinez. He starts every week. Who are you talking about? I don't know who you're talking about. The Argentinian player? Ayub? Montana? Who are you talking about, Montana? Tom, obviously there was a protest. I was in the protest. It was a huge protest, a massive protest. I don't know if you saw some of the things on social media, but mainstream media ignored it, but didn't. But I'm not ignoring what's going on at Everton. What's going on here, Tom? Why have the Glazers bought Sky, BT, mainstream media, the BBC? Nobody's talking about it's one of the biggest derby games in world football, and there was thousands and thousands, over 30,000 people protesting. So why is it not covered on the news, Tom?
Because it's the motive that was behind the Manchester derby, not the motive that's behind a Manchester United protest that's going to eventually potentially lead to a sale of the football club or a minority investment coming from some bidder or some investor. But when you look at it, because Sky and stuff, they make their viewing figures off of the big games that operate at the highest level, and the highest viewing figures tend to come from a game that involves Manchester United, Arsenal, Man City, or a Liverpool fixture. Any of those teams, when you jumble them around in whatever sort of game, tends to bring out the biggest viewing figures. barring potentially a North London derby. So when you look at it from that sort of point of view, and in that case, companies like Sky or BT or whatever are not going to look at the Glazer protests and think, right, we need to cover this. We need to be speaking about it openly and, heavily on channels or anything like that. And I say it here as well because Liverpool have had their own little mini protests where they've had, fans going into the stadium.
Tom will come back. Just to say, Georgie B, Arsenal are looking to sign 2 players in this January. They missed out on that guy for Chelsea. Chelsea stole the player, picked their pocket, but they're looking to sign 2 players, 2 attacking areas and midfield. So the window's not closed yet. So that's what they're looking to do. They're looking to sign a forward and a midfield player. That's what they're looking to do. Gravenberch, that's a good shout. He worked with him before Ten Hag. He's a Ten Hag player. He actually played his best football under Ten Hag. So that's a good shout, Rohan. Really good shout. You're talking about the Bosnian guy that played for Man City, tall striker. I forgot his name. I can't believe I forgot his name. But the Bosnian striker that played for City, I don't think he's going to come to United on loan. I don't think he is. Dzeko, is it Deco? Is it Deco? Is it Deco? Something like that, if I'm not mistaken. Listen, but they're not going to sell him. They're not going to sell Kudus. I would take Kudus over Tielemans any day, 100%. I would take him, 100%. I would. But they're not going to, Ajax are not going to sell. We can't buy anybody. We're looking for loans. Loans, guys. We're looking for loans. Now we can. You can loan players. You can loan players. I looked at it. You can loan 4 players in the Premier League. 4 players. They just don't have to be from the same team. You can loan players. Look, honestly, Ibra, look at it again. If I'm mistaken, I'm mistaken. You can loan players. Yeah, Arsenal linked with Rafinha. But Khalees, big up Khalees from Medina, as a chief editor, United Real Therapy. Vas, if you were there, you could have come on. I've sent him a link, but I don't know where he is. But big up Khalees from Medina Lassie. Rafinha came out and said, when they won the trophy the other night, they beat Real Madrid in that cup, in the Spanish Cup. He said, this is the first trophy I've won, and I can't wait to win more with this club. So I don't think he's going anywhere, unless they pay the money. I think it's mad how everyone says Arsenal are light, when in fact, every team except City is currently light, even Chelsea. Now, Chelsea are not light. Have you seen the players? Shellington Avenue. No, Deco. Nah, he's never going to come to you. Listen, Shellington, they're light in midfield, but they're not light in attacking options. Have you seen the players? Oh, my God. Wait till the players come back from injury. He's got almost 30 players there. Who's he going to play? He can't pick 2 teams. He's got to pick 2 different teams for 2 different games. Yeah, Seko's not going to come. Dzeko's not going to come to United. He's not. I'm telling you, he's a City guy. He's not going to come to United. Oh, Correa. Okay, yeah. I'll take Correa for 6 months. Yeah. I would take him. No, I'm finishing. The program is finishing, but next time. Big up, brother. Big up. Big up, Flawless, man. Big up. Love, brother. Let's do some things together, bro. I know it's a new year, and I kept saying it last year, but I was hella busy. But let's do things, man. Let's do things. Big up, Flawless, man. Take note. If you know. Loving the new music and everything from last year, brother. But big up. People, go and check it out, man. Sarcasm City, man. They do all sorts. 24-hour sports channel, that. One of the hardest working people, man, on YouTube, honestly. Do basketball. They do all sorts of things. So go and check out their watch-alongs and everything else. But it's been a brilliant podcast, guys. I've really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. There we go. Chelsea are enormous transfer expensive. I set alarm of bells inside highly rated academy. Alerted German clubs possibility of trying to sign some of their club's best homegrown youngsters. This is from reporter, United Real Therapy reporter, Khalees Medina Lassie. We go back to the Scott McTominay thing, and that because Bruno Kamash was injured and he might be out for a couple of weeks or months. And there we go. Java says, I got so much stick on Twitter saying get contests like pissing your pants to keep warm. we will soon regret it. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you, Jaffers. I had to hold firm on that because too many people were killing me. But big up Notorious as well. I'm glad some of you are gassed, but I think top 4 is a possibility. Me personally, for the league, Man United need to sign attacking players for me to have option attacking goal scorers off the bench, because I don't know when Sancho's coming back. I'm not putting any time on it, and I think Martial needs at least a month off to get free of all these injuries that are causing him problems. But Therapy Army, you've been absolutely wonderful. Please smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. We're on the road to 7,000 people. We're 400 away from 7,000. Please tell your nan, tell your neighbor, tell your cousin. Just, they don't have to watch. They just have to give the subscribe so that the channel grows and the community gets bigger. So please, people, let's get the subscribers up. Let's do a January to the end of the month now, a subscribers challenge. So if every one of you got 2 people to subscribe to the channel, we'll be in 7,000, no problem. Let's do it, people. Come on. Let's do a January drive to get more subscribers to this channel so the community is bigger and it grows, because no other channel, me and Saeed, interact with the chat like we do. This is your community. This is our community. It belongs to all of us. Big up to everybody. Love and light. And big up my G Flawless, mate. Road to 7K, man. Love King. Love King. Big up to everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow for the Palace Manchester United preview. Take care, people. Love, light, peace. Win, lose or draw, Glazers out, bankers out. Take care, people. Big up Flawless, Sarcasm City.